Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. I'm here today with Tyler, and we are going to do another DraftKings Best Ball draft. All right, Tyler, how are you doing today? We're going to have plenty of time to talk about this as we're drafting, but let's go ahead and get started. We started a little late today, so let's just jump in the draft right now, and we'll chat while we're waiting for this thing to fill up. So 3, 2, 1, enter, and let's see where we're at. Oh, crap. Are you in? If not, we'll do another one.
Yeah, you're in your draft, and for round one, we'll start when this contest fills. Oh, no, I'm last guy in. Nope. I'm by myself.
All right, do you want to do a different one?
It's up to you. You could draft that team spread.
Do you want to just draft together then?
Yeah, that's fine. We could do that.
All right, let's just draft together. Okay, so we're on the clock in 8 picks. Draft starts in 2 minutes. But Tyler, first of all, give a quick overview. I got to go throw my lunch on the grill real quick, and then I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've been busy with work, so I haven't been able to do these shows with spread, but we're here today. Now we're going to be able to draft a team together. Sucks I couldn't get in that lobby. Been drafting some weekly winners teams while I've been at work, so those are a little different than these best ball season longs, but I feel like we'll put together a good team here. Was doing some talking with our guys Title over at Ship It. They were talking, and I was talking up the rookie Vidal. I've been doing that for a little bit. I think he's going to be the Chargers starting running back by about week 4. I don't trust Dobbins. Gus Edwards is an open field back, so that's one way we could do that. I like that idea. I like getting these Cardinal stacks late because you can get Kyler late. The only guy you really got to reach for is McBride. But other than that, really just been working. So you back spread.
All right. Well, I've been drafting a lot. I jumped back on DraftKings today. Some of the cool things they did. Remember, I maxed out the $3 one.
Yeah.
There's a new one that opened up. It's a lot smaller. I think it's only $20K to first, but it'll be closer to the time box deal. And they added a $4 one, which it feels like it's going to be time box, and it's going to fill up, fairly soon. So I think that's kind of cool that they are countering what Underdog's doing, because at this point of the year, Tyler, I kind of cut back on my BBMs and my whatever this one's called, the Best Ball Millionaire, just because
you don't want to use them all before guys get hurt in training camp.
And I'm drafting all the same guys, and actually most of the guys that I've targeted have moved up in ADP.
Yep.
Right, like my Jaleel McLaughlin's, my Brock Bowers.
I can tell you one guy that's going to move up after the news today spread. Who? Ricky Purcell.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy that news. What do you think? I do not. I don't think he's going to get traded. I think the Niners keep him.
I mean, I could see them keeping him just because, you see the same thing happen in Cincinnati with T. Higgins. Yeah. He was there was the rumor he's still there. He's demanded 2 trades. So,
yeah. And this is the NFL. It's not the NBA. So these guys really have no other option. All right, Tyler. So we're sitting here at 9. If one of these 2 running backs,
I swear, spread I'm sorry. I thought I was going to say I swear all my drafts have come in the 9 spot.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to be at 9 here again. So you know what surprised me? Are you surprised that on this site, Breece Hall's ahead of Bijan?
No, not really. I mean, I think
I would just think that Bijan be more valuable in a PPR format.
Slightly, but I mean, Breece Hall is going to score a lot of touchdowns spread. Like how many more catches is Bijan going to have than Breece? Can they outweigh the touchdown difference there?
Okay, that's a good point. All right, so you agree with that one right there. Well, okay, so we're going to have a choice because we have both Breece and Bijan on the board. Do you want to start with the running back? Normally on DraftKings, I always go 0 RB.
I'd be down to start with a Breece team.
You want to do Breece or Bijan?
I prefer Breece.
Okay. I prefer Bijan, but this will help even out my exposures. So there we go. Let's see. Now we'll come back at 16. Who we'll be looking at there? If we would have gone Bijan, I would have definitely targeted Drake
One of these
London.
running backs tends to fall, spread. I wouldn't be surprised if Gibbs is waiting on us so we can get those two right off the bat.
Okay, Gibbs just went. Garrett Wilson is yet to go, but I don't think he'll get all the way down to us.
That's how bad I've been running spread. See, I can't even get words out of my mouth before guys are getting picked.
Gibbs at 16 would be pretty wild.
But with that, it looks like one of the wide receivers may fall to us.
Yeah.
Ideal scenario, Garrett Wilson to get the small stack right off the bat, but I highly doubt he's there. There he goes.
Yeah, I didn't expect Garrett Wilson to be there. So I've been drafting a lot of Devontae. Now he's another one in trade rumors. One of the reasons I've been drafting a lot of Devontae is the target share. Boy, we're going to be able to get Harrison or Drake London. Out of all these wide receivers here, who do you like? Because let's just take a wide receiver. I don't want to go 2 running backs to start.
I would rather have Harrison right there over Adams. London would have been probably the guy, but I like Harrison better than Adams. Better quarterback. I think the more I look at Vegas's quarterbacks, like in seeing that video of Devontae Adams freaking out about Jimmy G, he could legit be in the same situation again.
Interesting. Yeah, I have a friend was not too happy after watching the receiver show with Devontae Adams. But I mean,
let's be honest,
I think a lot of the wide receivers act like that.
They took the one position in football that is the biggest crybaby position, and they made a TV show about it.
Yeah, that's why I think most of the guys act like this. Right? The closest thing to NBA players are these wide receivers. Okay, so now we've started, balanced build. We got Brees and Marvin to start. We're not on for 12 picks. Let's kind of look at what everyone else is doing. So for me, I feel like we went hero RB. We almost have to go wide receiver third, unless we were to get
McBride
an elite tight end.
Yeah.
McBride might be a little high here. Now on Underdog, he's pretty high. On this site, he's going around in the 40s. So if we get McBride, I'm going to target
maybe get
McBride
in the 4th. That'd be the ideal.
So C. Moulton getting a nice little Niner stack to start with the McCaffrey Ayuk start. I think that's a good job of him taking advantage of that news. I wonder how many people passed on thinking it's going to be traded. But I personally I don't think him or Adams is getting traded before.
I don't think Adams is getting traded. Ayuk could get traded because he's not under the big contract yet. He could get traded with the contract coming in the trade to the new team, to where Adams is already boatloaded full of money.
Yeah.
You'd have to match the contracts to get him traded.
I just think that when you're a Super Bowl team like that, you just bite the bullet and you go.
But which team can bite the bullet for that much cap space for him right now?
Who? Ayuk? No,
for Adams.
Seems like if it's Adams, they're going. It's Jets or bust, right?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Meg and I were talking before the show. If I'm wrong and Adams actually went to the Jets, don't you think that would turf him and Garrett Wilson's ADP? I think they both dropped to third rounders.
Yeah, and you know who I think it doesn't affect his ADP, but I think he would have a better season with the addition of Devontae Adams, and that'd be Breece Hall. Because now you're adding another weapon to the outside. You can't stack the box any heavier, and he's just going to run rampant on teams.
I mean, I personally don't think any of that stuff's going to happen. All right, Tyler. So we're looking here. So we could try and go quarterback here if you want to do a Josh Allen.
I like Pittman. I don't want Josh Allen.
You want Pittman here?
We go Pittman. We can get Kyler and AR and have the running upsides of those two guys.
All right, we'll go Pittman here, and then we can. So McBride would be 44. Is that who you want to try for?
I think that's who we should try for, unless a big name sticks out on the board.
I mean, there's going to be no one. DJ Moore's dropping a little bit, which I actually think is right, considering his target competition.
I don't think it's his competition. I think it's the fact that Caleb doesn't look all that good to start.
That could be it too, right?
Yeah, because let's be Are we really sure Rome's going to steal like that much of a target share from him? Like Keenan Allen's probably going to be hurt by week 3 and dealing with nagging injuries. I think the only reason he would fall is people are not as sold on Caleb Williams.
You know, a player who I was drafting, I was kind of avoiding, I'm trying to up my exposure to, is Travis Etienne.
I feel like, I feel like he's gonna have another big season. I mean, he started off the season really good last year. Their offensive line got banged up, Trevor got banged up, and that whole team just kind of fell off a cliff. So from there, he started.
He's the only one here I would consider taking over McBride. But you want to just go for the stack, and then we committed ourselves to Kyler?
I'm fine with either spread, just because
let's do McBride. I actually I don't have much. I probably have more ETN than McBride so far.
Yeah. You know, I also feel like if you pull up the running back list right now, I don't. There's like how much different is ETN from the guys that go in these 90 ranges, from like Montgomery to Kenneth Walker to James Cook to even Najee Harris. Like how much different is he from those guys?
That's a great point. So one of the reasons I don't think I have as much McBride is I kind of rank all the elite tight ends kind of the same. Like I wouldn't be that surprised if Evan Ingram had close to the same season as McBride. So Evan Ingram is kind of like my cutoff spot. You know, I love Brock Ballard.
My only thing, like, because I was thinking about that too when I was drafting the other day, and I got some McBride. He's like when I start to rank him, like if you had to just like give me the list 1 through 5. He's getting closer to 1 for me just because of the pathways he could end up 1 over the other guys. Like
the only argument you can make against him is that with Marvin Harrison there, he'll have increased target competition where he was putting up those crazy numbers last year. I mean, who was he going against? Because Hollywood was in time.
I agree, but that's the only guy that could take targets from him in Arizona, to where like Laporta has to recreate a rookie season that hasn't been done in years.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey's could do it again, but he's also getting older. I think Kittle still ranks pretty high. He's another guy's ADP could jump if Ayuk's moved. Like Evan Ingram has to deal with now. Brian Thomas is there, which is just replacing Calvin Ridley. Gabe Davis is there. So I mean,
I like Ingram a lot. He got all those middle of the field targets last year.
I think McBride has a pathway to just being target monster. If Marvin Harrison gets hurt, it's literally just him again.
All right, so when we're looking at QB, Kyler's at 78, right? So we know we want him to be our number 1.
Yeah.
Boy, we're hurting on wide receiver here. We pretty much have to go wide receiver here, but we're thinking – I don't think I want to reach for him, though. I think what is it? So we're at 57.
We're going to pick right on the turn, so.
All right, you just talked about Keenan Allen being hurt. He's going to be the highest wide receiver on the board, most likely. Do you want to avoid him, though? You said you sound like you're worried about his injuries.
I mean, he could be hurt, but if he's going to play, he is a top route runner. So, of the wide receivers on the board, like Worthy's in a little bit of a weird spot. He couldn't be the main. He might not be the main guy. He could be the main guy. Jaden Reed's also in that same spot where there's 4 wide receivers, so we're really not sure who's the one. I say we just take Keenan Allen.
Okay. I'm fine with Keenan Allen, too. I mean, up until when he got hurt last year, he was the 3rd overall receiver.
Yeah, and
PPR.
We know he is wide receiver 2, possibly wide receiver 1 in Chicago.
Now, the question is, we can't reach for Kyler here, right?
No, our other quarterback's going to go before him, spread.
Who's our other quarterback?
Michael Pittman's quarterback.
Who's going to win MVP? Anthony Richardson, do you?
Yes, you do, because he's going to win MVP this year.
No, he's not. He's not going to make it through week 4.
That's what everybody thinks, spread. And just because the guy got hurt when he was diving for the end zone on a touchdown, everyone thinks he's just made of glass now.
Well, he didn't do very well at Florida either. I'll tell you what, Tyler.
What do you mean? He was averaging 24 fantasy points a game.
No, I'm talking about he got hurt Florida too. That's why I'm worried about him injury-wise.
Oh, I thought you said he wasn't doing good before that.
No, he was excellent.
That's why I've been grabbing him, Tyler. I was like, what do you mean?
We talk about spreading exposures through sites, also through contests. So to me, Richardson is weekly winners. I have a ton of Richardson and weekly winners.
No, I agree there. I've snagged him in weekly winners, just basically naked sometimes, just because I think he's going to win slates when it comes to DFS.
I mean, do you want Richardson?
I do. I want Richardson.
Should we take him right now?
I think we should.
Okay.
And
He just went. We don't want CJ Stroud though, right?
No.
How do you feel? So I say we go Xavier Worthy, Kenneth Walker, Calvin Ridley. We already have our tight end, so no
You can go
Kittle.
Godwin's hanging out down there too. If there's a wide receiver, if we needed that.
You want him? I'd rather have Worthy.
Worthy or Godwin for me.
Okay, we'll take Godwin. Okay.
I just know Godwin's going to get pelted with the ball. If he has touchdown positive regression and starts scoring a bunch of touchdowns, he can easily be a top 5 wide receiver with how many targets he gets.
All right, so Kyler, if he's on the board, is going to be our next pick overall. If he's not, which I'm a little worried about because, Tyler, we pushed this way too. It's 81 and he's 78. I guess that's not that bad.
We have his weapons, though, so, I mean, unless somebody reaches for him, we should be fine.
That happened. I thought the same thing yesterday with Trevor.
Check. What's his team look like behind us that took AR? Does he have Jalen Hurts, too?
No.
No, okay. I thought that was – okay, so he has –
the guy who has AR has Bijan, Drake. Wow. So Cousins will be his second. Malik, Zay Flowers, Dalton Kincaid. Boy, Tua went here. I mean, that helps us because he's most likely not going to take a quarterback. But
yeah, that's
Tua in round 6 is wild. Don't you agree?
I think that's wild.
Yeah. This guy got a great value on CJ Stroud, though.
Oh, yeah. He definitely got a great value on CJ
He had
Stroud.
no correlation, but I think his idea was just like, if he falls that far, you have to take him. So what's up to everybody joining us? Remember, this is the Fanspeak Network. Give us a like on the video. Give us the thumbs up. Head on over to fanspeak.com. They're continuing to put out articles. The most recent one I read, I don't know how new the article is, but it was going over your tight end values. So Steve and Meg are continuing to put those out. Fanspeak.com is the place to be. And I know we're on Underdog, but also head over to bestballoverlay.com. When you're on Underdog for DraftKings, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to try it out tonight and start drafting with it. And it helps you with your week 17 correlations and your overall exposures. So a couple things I just wanted to point out. Wanted to say what's up to everyone here. I see Felix in the chat, my guy Clyde. And of course, I think that's Meg there chatting, but it could be Steve. I don't know how busy she is today. All right, Tyler, we're getting closer. I'm feeling pretty good because unless this guy grabbed him, everyone else has spent capital on a quarterback. So unless this guy goes with him, and he's got a lot of, I mean, if I were him, I'd grab Burrow because he has Chase rather than
yeah, that makes total
Kyler.
sense.
Boy, getting Xavier Worthy in the 7th round. It's so funny how different it is. Because I think that, well, I guess it makes sense. I guess Xavier Worthy should be more valuable on Underdog. Because I don't know if he's going to get a ton of targets.
What are we thinking with this Rashee Rice stuff? Like, is he going to get suspended?
I think he's going to get 4 to 6 games.
But the more that comes out this offseason spread with other guys, like, they got to penalize Jordan Addison worse than Rashee Rice now.
Why? What happened with that?
Because
I just know he got a DUI.
He's a recurring offender, and he was driving 140 miles an hour last year.
Wait, he did it twice?
Yeah, he did it last year, too. So he has to get a heavier suspension than Rashee Rice, in my eyes.
All right, well, things are going well for us here, Tyler, because we got Kyler.
Let's go.
Okay, so now we can feel a little better about that. We have 4 wide receivers. We have a hero running back. We have our tight end. Tyler, at this point, we're going best player available. But the first thing I like to do at this point is I want to think about my backup quarterback because this is DraftKings. They're way more quarterback thirsty. You cannot push it down.
That was another reason why I kind of wanted both those guys. Like, if we could have got AR and Kyler, like, we had 2 running quarterbacks that could run touchdowns in for us, too. Like, that could have been a good spot to be in.
Yeah,
that guy sniped AR from us.
Yeah, and that's fine. Because if you think about it, of all the players to not care about correlation, I think Richardson is one of the ones that it's just like, I don't care about correlation.
I could agree there. You said what? We're 4 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end.
We can pretty much go best player available. We're up next. Who are you thinking?
You hovered over him. Up 1.
Brian Thomas?
Mm-hmm. I think other than Neighbors, who's just going to get pelted with the ball because they have no other receivers, I think Thomas is going to be one of the top rookie wide receivers. He's going to slide right into that Calvin Ridley role. Calvin Ridley should have scored so many more touchdowns last year where he stepped out of bounds or dropped the ball or just bad luck. Like, I think he's going to have a great season.
Okay. Unfortunately, I think that means we will not get Najee Harris. I'm sorry, Felix.
Yeah, I also think a lot of people, like, I'm not going to say they're the exact replicas, but like when Chase and Jefferson were running around for Burrow and they made Burrow look like a god, like Thomas and Neighbors kind of did the same thing for Jaden Daniels. Like both of those guys could end up being studs at the next level.
Okay. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad for not grabbing Najee there, but Felix, when we invested capital in number 1 Brees Hall, number 1 overall for our first round pick, and then grabbing a tight end and a QB, I think that wide receiver cliff is right there. The last one, JSN's the last one here in this little tier here. I think it severely drops off. Now, Jameson Williams, right? I know that, from reading our chats, Tyler, you and I have been high on him, and the Fanspeak team's been high on him. And I thought because he went in an area around all running backs that he would go up the board, which has kind of happened, right? Because if you put off wide receiver there, he's pretty much the only one available. He's an interesting guy as far as its tape versus actual statistics. You look at the tape, and the guy should be a stud, but his yards per route run and his target share has not been that high. However, you watch the tape, and it does seem quite viable. Boy, Najee, top player on the board at pick 97 there, Felix. Can you believe? I'm
very surprised he's made it this far.
The only thing is on DraftKings, I feel like the running backs are way lower. Is there any chance he'll drop all the way? This guy's got 2, 2, 3, 2, 3. I'd say
no, but there's a pathway.
There's too many guys here with only 2. We only have 1 running back. We have the most wide receivers at 5. Oh, no, this guy's got 6. Rashid Shaheed. What do you think of him, Tyler?
I mean, he could score a lot of touchdowns. He's a deep ball guy. My biggest problem is the quarterback, Derek Carr. And I'm going to give the hot take now. I think Rattler's going to take that job and be one of the better rookie quarterbacks.
Oh, I disagree with you there.
I legit think he's taking like the NBA pathway spread where like has been on the map since high school, had to do that TV show, had no interest in playing college ball and just kind of coasted his way through. And now he's going to go back to looking like when he was ranked number 1 coming out of high school. If you were on TV shows and they were telling you you're going to be a next best quarterback prospect and then you got to go play college and go to class, how much effort are you putting in?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, you're like,
I'm not the best person to answer this. Okay, Tyler,
my ticket's already punched. Like, it's basically how I think his mental was.
Okay, so here's my obviously, I love Brock Bowers. I'd love to pick him. We do need a running back. Caleb's on the board, though, and we have Keenan. What do you think we should do here?
We need a running back, though. I feel like we can get Trevor Lawrence.
I feel like we can get running backs, though, if we grab Caleb or Bowers here and just get running backs.
I would go, if we're taking anything, it'd be Caleb or a running back. I don't think we need to touch Bowers. I think I think you're falling a little bit too in love with the Raiders thing, and you got to remember, spread. Do you guys have like?
All right, quick. Do you want Caleb?
Yes, Caleb.
One thing though, let's say I'm wrong and we trade Devontae, those Bauer shares are going to be elite.
I'm just not sure you guys are still going to be able to throw the ball.
I think you're underestimating Minshew and O'Connell. I mean, Pittman. Look at where Minshew got Pittman to.
They got a better offensive line. They have a run game that's a lot better. Like, I love Zamir White, but like looking back on it, it was 4 games and he got there really on volume. They were already talking about using the tight ends for blocking more. Like, I don't like.
If he gets back to us, can we grab Bowers here, or do you want a running back?
I think we should get a running back.
Oh, he's gone. Okay.
Right there.
All right. I don't want Chubb.
Oh, you don't want Mr. 500-pound squat?
Do you know I was back in when I saw that. But on the other one that I was doing, the little $3 one that just opened up, he's all the way down to like 180.
Yeah.
So you got to remember these ADPs are based off where this contest has been so far. So it's kind of fun to jump into those new contests and see how the ADPs have evolved because all our May and June drafting has affected these ADPs. I'm down for some. Let's just go. You want to let's just say we're doing a running back. Are you down?
Yeah, we need a running back.
I'm going to go just running back here. Pollard's gone. Who do you want? I don't want Chubb or Javonte, and I'll take whoever else.
I would take Chubb first. I would take Benson second. I would take Singletary third. I would not touch Eckler with a 3. I wouldn't touch Eckler with a pole that could reach from my house to your house.
Okay. I took Trey Benson, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to give you some reasons. And I'm not that high on Eckler either, but we've talked about it before with your exposures through the drafts. I love Eckler on this side. I don't take him on underdog at all. But if he's going to blow up, it's going to be through receiving. And if that's the case, give me a couple shares here. I still think he's going a little high, though. If he continued to fall in ADP, I'd be a little more interested. But I feel like you get guys with way higher upside. Like the Trey Benson pick that we just made.
Yeah, Trey Benson could take James Conner's job, or James Conner gets hurt and he's easily just RB1 bell cow status. So, I think Eckler's washed, to be honest.
I do too. I just like taking the shot on him here.
Like I think there could be a good possibility. Like people draft him in season-long fantasies. Like he's not high in ADP when it comes to these best balls, but like people are using a 10th round pick on him. I think there's a chance he's just the veteran in the locker room for Brian Robinson and the Gonzalez kid.
And that's the argument against him, is that Kingsbury does like to run that hurry-up offense, and if Robinson's out there on first down, they might not be able to sub.
And they already told Robinson he's getting used in the passing game too, so that just tells me
he's really good.
Yeah, that just tells me right there that like Eckler's game might just get phased out before we even get to see it.
All right, so where we're at now, we'll just take a flyer on the third quarterback. We'll do that at the end. Do like a Bo Nix or Daniel Jones or something like that. So we got quarterback taken care of. Tight end we can grab if we need, but with McBride, I mean, if this lineup is going to be successful, it's because McBride's a stud. So we don't necessarily need it. I think we need to go back and go running back in this next round.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. So I'll pull it back up, and I'll bet you a lot of people are going to be doing that here. As you just see all these guys fly off the board.
Also, I like Spears better than Pollard.
Everybody does. And now I'm almost just drafting Pollard because I'll have to look. So once I get the best ball overlay installed tonight, that'll help me with my underdog exposures.
I just can't wait to see the same thing happen with Jaylen Warren. Najee will leave next year. Everyone will say Jaylen Warren's going to be the stud. He's going to look like how Pollard did his 1 year in Dallas when he got to be the starter, and then he'll get kicked out of Pittsburgh, and he'll go have to split somewhere else with someone else, and people will still want to buy in on him.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to bring it back to the player pool, and I don't know if you don't mind, I'm just going to go straight to running backs. So the two guys I still want to avoid are at the top of the board. I'm still out on them. Chubb's got to fall at least like the next cycle.
It's got to be Chase Brown or Corum.
Which one would you rather have?
Corum.
We've got a shot at both.
I would rather take Corum just because if anybody's going to make a running back switch, it's Sean McVay at the snap of a finger, and he's already talked about loving Corum. Corum was one of the better running blockers, so take him.
All right, and we're going to have a shot at these other guys. So let's go 2 running backs here, and then I'm going to go flip my food real quick, and then we'll strategize for the next round here. I think there's a good chance Chase is still on the board.
I'm down for Chase Brown if he's there.
If he's not, who do you like?
I was going to say, but if he's not there, I like Dowdle because I think Dowdle could be the back there with Zeke being old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still going to push for Chubb, even because there goes Chase Brown. I'm not touching Dobbins because I want the rookie there. I wouldn't touch Wright.
Why wouldn't you touch Wright? I like him a lot.
I think there's just a pathway where he's just like the gadget guy. And
Dobbins is like Chubb to me. If he falls far enough, I'll take him.
I just think that rookie in the Chargers is going to have that job. He's the best pass blocking one. He's been a bell cow in college before. He had 1,800 scrimmage yards last year in college.
But when you're not drafting Dobbins, you're basically just saying I don't think he'll be healthy. Would you agree that if he's
they've
healthy,
been right
he's the best
every
running
year
back?
of his career spread?
Yeah, I mean, so is Anthony Richardson. All right, so we're going Dowdle here, right?
Yeah, go Dowdle.
I mean, I guess we could reach for Kendra Miller or Ty Chandler, but do you like Dowdle more?
Yeah, I would trust Dowdle more. I think
there's a chance those guys are still there too when we come back around.
And I think Dowdle over Ty Chandler and the other guy is just he's a training camp report away spread from them saying he's taking RB1 reps and his ADP is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, the concern, of course, with Dowdle, and I think it's better on this site, is that he just doesn't get any of the red zone work.
That could all change if Zeke goes down, though, because Deuce Vaughn isn't getting it.
Yeah, if Zeke does go down. And Zeke was actually fairly healthy last year, so we'll see. All right, Tyler, break down what's going on in the sport. I'll be back in like 38 seconds.
Yeah, so it looks like Nick Chubb finally came off the board right there. There goes Justin Herbert. I see Devontae Wicks went the pick before us. I think he could be a solid receiver. Those 4 receivers, just in general, for Green Bay is just a weird situation. Like, I've heard guys rank them all over the place. Some guys love Reed, think he's a stud, star wide receiver, going to be the one. I still have hope that Christian Watson could be that guy after hearing all about the hamstring surgery he had in the offseason. They're trying to fix him up. Wicks is getting drafted the lowest, but he had some good games last year, and people think he could be the stud there. And they still have Romeo Doubs, who Jordan Love considers the X on the offense. So that is wide receiver 1. So just those 4, it's tough to rank any of them. How do you rank those 4 spread? 4 wide receivers in Green Bay.
Well, I think they're ranked how they should be. My thing about the Green Bay guys is that they're all too high because you can't support 4 people that high.
No, I think that I think Watson has that pathway where it's still like, oh, there goes 10 touchdowns, and he's wide receiver 1.
So everybody likes Wicks the most, and of course, because they all have, I don't know why I say equal upside, but you talk the upside of all of those guys, right?
When you watch back some of those late games last season when he would catch the ball in space spread, he does look like he could be an elite receiver. Yeah,
that's why. I mean, is ADP Wicks is the best. I like Christian Watson the second most. So I guess I just like the ADP is going down. Okay, so quarterbacks are actually falling in this draft, Tyler. That's weird. Usually I say everyone's quarterback thirsty here on DraftKings. So I was wrong here. How do we want to approach this?
How many running backs do we have?
4 now. We're 2, 4, 5, 1. But really, I wouldn't mind going back to running back because we only have 1 starter.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to Keandre Miller.
Benson back up, Blake Corum back up. Well, Rico, you can argue either way. So
I wouldn't mind Keandre Miller. You want to just pull up the running backs only?
Yeah. You want to go Kendra Miller?
Yeah, let's go Keandre Miller.
Bro, Jaleel McLaughlin, is he off the board? Someone already took him. Oh, no, he's way down here. That's so
I still don't get that one. I will never get that.
It's just a fate of Javonte.
What's the hate about Javonte? That's the other thing.
He's always hurt, and he's not as fast as he used to be.
He got hurt one time, and he ruptured his Achilles, and he played every game the next year.
He didn't look very good. Did you think he looked good? I didn't think he looked good.
I mean, he didn't look like he did before he ruptured his Achilles, but I didn't think he looked like a running back that was about to get his job taken by an RB3.
All right. Where do we go next?
Depending on the board, I don't hate getting a tight end here like Sanat, because same thing, spread. When it comes to Ertz and it comes to Eckler, like they were good 8 years ago. Are we sure Ertz is going to be on the field? Like Sanat could be a rookie.
If you like Sanat, my only thing is he drops. I think we can get him like the next go round.
Yeah, I don't hate just waiting on him.
Let's wait on him.
Like Legette's sitting there. He's supposed to be pretty good wide receiver rookie.
Well, we can go anywhere you want. We're at 2, 5, 5, 1. So probably anything but running back.
We could draft off the trade news and take Purcell.
Where's he at?
Did he just go?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he just went to
You
pick
want to
up
grab?
the-
You know who I like here? You want to grab Jermaine Burton?
I don't hate that.
All right.
You can take him.
I like Jermaine Burton.
He's another one, like a surprise T. Higgins trade right before training camp could boost him to wide receiver 2 in Cincinnati.
And I don't see that T. Higgins trade happening, but I could see him taking a lot of targets. Like Tyler Boyd was in the slot last year, the number 3, right?
My slight only worry about Burton spread is their offensive coordinator did an interview talking about Gesicki, and they basically said that Gesicki is the guy they've been waiting for to unlock the middle of the field through the tight end spot. So I think he, like late round tight ends, Gesicki is the guy.
Yeah, I can't argue against Gesicki. I just think that Burton's got a pathway to get there. I think he's going to be on the field a lot.
Definitely got a pathway. But I think Burrow's already said something about Burton too from the OTAs. Like he likes Burton as a target. Burton was great at Alabama for Bryce Young when he didn't have the Pixie or didn't have the other players around him either. So I don't hate Burton, but I just see Gesicki could be another weapon in that offense that scores a lot of touchdowns. I mean, Gesicki had that terrible gritty dance when he was in Miami. Chase has got to fix that for him, right?
Yeah. I think Steve put it better. I'm going to go ahead and read what he said.
Yeah.
I like the Burton pick. Boyd was a top 50 fantasy wide receiver the last 3 years and top 35 in 2021 and 2022.
Yep.
So I think
I also think that offense could just be pass heavy spread. Like Zach Moss is their lead back. Like, are we sure Zach Moss is going to be able to take a lot of carries? He's been a career backup for most of his career. So I just don't see it. I think maybe Chase Brown takes the job, or maybe they just become pass heavy and they look like how Dallas did last year.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see how that goes. The only issue I might have is, the playoff time. What's their weather schedule like as far as – and then that's a crappy division.
What?
You got to go against the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns defense.
Oh, it's a crappy division when it comes to having to play in it, but, like, the teams are going to be good.
Yeah. Steve says, I agree with Tyler. With Mixon being gone, they might be throwing more, assuming Burrow is healthy.
Just looking at some of these season-long props, like most regular season passing yards, Burrow is 11-1. I do not hate that as a season-long prop.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Or if you just wanted to key in on just Chase to have the most regular receiving yards is 12-1.
I'm going under the assumption that he's going to be healthy.
I think.
All right, so Sanat's still here. Do we want to push it, or do you want to just grab him now?
What else are we looking at? Yeah, I don't hate taking Sanat. There's my guy Vidal. We definitely got to get him on the turn then.
I think Vidal's more likely to go than Sanat. Nobody takes Sanat. But we already, well, I guess that would be our last running back. All right, real quick. Do you want Vidal or Sanat?
I'd take Vidal.
Right. And then I'll bet you we're going to get Sanat.
That was the other thing. I was like, we weren't getting Vidal on the turn.
This guy only has one tight end. He might take him.
I've noticed a lot of guys that wait on tight end spread. They'll grab like the Jelani Woods or the Sanders.
I don't mind. I think it's pretty easy to say that these guys are pretty close in value, so might as well push it back and do round 18, where like for running back, you're going Kamani Vidal against a guy like Braylon Allen, who is a great player from what I've seen.
But he's stuck behind Breece Hall, who is
right. So
yeah,
I think that's why people are pushing back the tight end. I mean, I think the difference here is a lot different in these other positions. Elijah Mitchell going a lot higher now.
I don't hate that just based off history. Mm-hmm. How many times has Christian McCaffrey been able to take a workload like he did last year and not get hurt?
I want to go tight end here, Tyler. Juwan Johnson or Tyler
I don't hate
Conklin.
Waiting spread because Mike Gesicki's sitting there at 212.
Yeah, but we want 3, don't we? We have 20 rounds here.
We have 2 already, don't we?
We only have 1.
It'd be Sanders for me.
Well, okay, that would be a reach then. So if you don't want Juwan Johnson, who do we want? We got 10 seconds. Roman Wilson?
Yeah, that's fine. A wide receiver 2 in Pittsburgh. They need him to be wide receiver 2 because unless it's not him, they're running Van Jefferson at wide receiver 2. If that's the case, spread, I'm putting on my Raiders gear and I'm coming to root for Brock Bowers.
That kind of gives us an opportunity to grab some Russell Wilson if we need to. Wait, did Russell Wilson already get drafted?
There's no way.
I think he did.
Unless he just went recently.
Yeah, he just went. He went in round 15.
Wow.
That's wild.
Does that guy got Pickens?
You better. No. He doesn't outfire me. That's weird. That guy's just drafting. He just took Odell in the 16th round.
He's just here for the vibes.
Man, where's Andrew, man? This guy took Isaiah Likely in round 10, Luke McCaffrey in round 9.
Oh my!
Is he gonna get our freaking draft thrown out? This is the guy that grabbed Naked Tua in round 6.
This dude knows something that we don't, though, Spread.
No, he could just be a normal. I think it's a normal managed league player. That doesn't consume any content, doesn't know or care about correlation. Because this is how you draft a managed league, right? Just draft your guys. Yeah.
Very true.
Okay, so we still need a third quarterback and we need more tight ends. With what we have so far, is there anyone we're looking at a specific third quarterback, or are we just going to grab someone naked?
I think we're going to have to pretty much grab someone naked.
We can grab Fields, too.
We'd be if we're taking someone's backup and just crossing our fingers that he gets in.
I mean, to be fair, it's not really going to matter if Kyler or Caleb both suck. So
I don't think. I think Kyler.
I don't mind shooting.
I think Kyler gets there as long as he doesn't get hurt.
My worry about Kyler is that he's not there for us in the playoffs because he gets hurt. All right. Do we want Justin Fields next?
Yeah, we can do that.
Juwan Johnson's still on the board. I was arguing for him last round.
I mean, yeah, if you want to go Juwan and then Fields.
You want to do that?
Yeah, that's fine. Get the tight end.
All right, hold on one second.
My only worry about Fields, though, is, man, if Russ looks like how he did last year, I'm not sure Fields is going to be able to see the field. Old Spread almost ate it. We almost got to watch Spread go down.
Dude.
If we would have got to watch you fall down over the chair in that small little box, like, we would have had to clip that.
Oh, yeah.
You almost went down.
I got to get that fixed. You remember how I redid these floors?
Is it lifting up?
Dry rot expanded the floors during the summer, and so
you got the little hump going.
I got to pull it all up, and I just haven't done it yet. I got to pull it up, sand it down.
Yeah, that's no fun.
JJ McCarthy, obviously the best value on the board. What do you think of him overall, Tyler? We're going to grab Fields, right? McCarthy just went.
Yeah, let's take Fields.
Okay, so we grab Fields. Talk to me about your expectations for JJ McCarthy, though.
Is he going to start? Like, I'm not sure he's going to start week 1. I think Darnold.
He's not going to start week 1. There's no way.
Like,
that's why you have to draft him as your third quarterback.
Is this going to be? Remember when Sam Darnold started for Carolina those first couple games, and then they pulled the switch? Like, is this going to be kind of the same thing here? Like, they kind of just give him the first couple games for Minnesota, hope to swap to JJ.
I mean, I think they're going into the season hoping that JJ can sit the whole year, and Darnold leads them to 13-4 or whatever. And they don't need to switch. But I don't think that's realistic.
I think they go into panic mode just because of their schedule. And I think that it's a disaster waiting to happen because I think Darnold's going to be in a bad spot. I think they're going to instantly switch to McCarthy, and he's going to be sent through the ringer. Listen to this schedule spread. If they lose week 1 at the Giants, then they get San Francisco. Then they get Houston. Then they go to Green Bay. Then they get the Jets. Then they go home and play Detroit. Then they go to the Rams. Then they play.
When's their bye? Because I think that would be when we're going to switch.
The Green Bay. It would be in between heading to Green Bay and then going to
What week is that? So how many weeks of Darnold can you expect?
here. Hold on, let me get this pulled up.
Yeah, pull that up, please. While you do that, I'm looking at tight end, and let's see, we have 3 quarterbacks, tight end, and a wide receiver here.
Their bye week would be week 6. Actually, it would be in between the Jets game and the Detroit game.
So you get 5 games of Darnold and 12 of McCarthy.
Yeah.
Like for this little scenario we're creating. Now, my argument for McCarthy would be with Justin Jefferson out there, he could do pretty well.
I mean, yeah, I see that.
It's just like Devontae, right? I mean, like we talked about how bad the Raiders quarterbacks were, and he still put up huge numbers last year.
My biggest worry, though, is like they have a very tough schedule. Mm-hmm. They did not look good after Kirk went down last year, and Kirk was carrying that team basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like this could be another situation where it's like an offensive guru coach that everyone thinks is good, and now the quarterback that we don't consider elite, but he's very good, leaves, and now
they're just just grab Javon Baker here? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, do your thing. But yeah, I could see that happening where this coach goes into panic mode. It doesn't work. He tries to get JJ out there, puts them through the ringer with this schedule, and they're a terrible team, and they're looking at these quarterbacks next year.
I think they'll at least give them 2 years. I think the Vikings have a chance. If the Vikings are bad, I think it's because
if you can get I'm trying to find
the defense sucks so bad.
I haven't seen it yet. The last team to have a win.
Real quick, we're gonna take a shot on a tight end. I've been taking a lot of Hayden Hurst. What do you think?
Is Gesicki there?
No, he's gone. We missed him.
Yeah, he's gone. He was at 212. He's gone.
I say it's either Hayden Hurst or Michael Mayer. Who do you like better? I like Hurst better.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
We'll go for him. All right, our team is done. Tyler, what do you think of this team? I think we did a pretty good job.
I think we did a pretty good job. I like the Cardinal stack. I talked about it before we even started drafting. We were able to get that one. So we swapped out Connor for Benson, which could not be a bad thing in the end. We've seen Connor get hurt before. We've also seen him have problems. So, I mean, I like our team. Stud tight end, we got Breece Hall, who I think is going to be one of the top running backs.
All right, let's see what Meg has to say. I hear Tyler's concern on the Vikings schedule, but I'm bullish on Darnold to play most of the season. With that coach and weapons, Darnold could have a Baker or Tannehill type turnaround.
I was in until the last sentence after the comma because Darnold's just not. No.
Why?
He stinks, spread. He stunk in college. Everyone wanted just to paint him as a good guy.
He was good in college, just except for the interceptions.
Yeah, that is a big problem at the next level when this gameplay speeds up.
Fair enough.
At least Baker showed us some life in Cleveland. Tannehill showed us some life in Miami. Darnold hasn't showed us anything anywhere.
I don't know, and we'll find out. We will find out. All right, well, because of the weird schedule, sorry guys, I was rushing. We'll start a little earlier next week, so I'm not so we're not rushing so much. But let's just go over our team real quick, and then we'll call it a day. So Hero RB, which is a little different on DraftKings, although to be a get Breece Hall at pick 9, very happy about that. Harrison and Pittman. I like what we did there. We've talked about this before. You get one guy with the big upside swing, and I say that's Harrison. Pittman, I feel, is safer, right?
Yeah, Pittman's he's gonna get 10 to 12 targets a game. He's gonna, as long as he's out on the field, he's gonna get targets, regardless of.
So we went with one upside swing, one more safer pick. I feel like Pittman's a safe pick. He might not. I don't think he's got the chance to be a number 1 pick overall next year, like Harrison does, or not first round pick. But I don't think there's any way he slips out of round 4 without an injury. We've talked about McBride before and how, especially in this format, you kind of want one of these top 8 tight ends. To me, it cuts off here at Evan Ingram. I think there's a big drop off between him and Njoku. Well, Jake Ferguson, you can make an argument for. Maybe we'll say it cuts off at Ferguson. But then when you get down to Schultz, I love Bowers, but all jokes aside, he's a total upside swing.
Schultz could be one of the guys, but I think he is.
That target competition is ridiculous, though.
He is very, very touchdown dependent. Like you need them to get in the red zone.
So if you're going to draft Schultz, do it on underdog.
That should be good on like Tank Dell and Nico.
He's not going to be getting the PPR like Ingram's going to get. Yeah. Let's see.
I wouldn't also drop Njoku off a giant tier. I know he looked way better with Flacco out there, but Watson will target the tight end.
Okay. I just don't think Watson's very good. So
I'll give him one last shot just because the dude was playing with a broken rotator cuff last year.
Fair enough. We'll see if that heals 100%. So two kind of safer floor plays, Keenan Allen and Chris Godwin. Then let's go ahead and swing for the fences with Brian Thomas.
For sure.
Right? Because he could get lost in that target competition, or he could be an elite player, especially in this PPR format, right? If he's getting some of that Ingram work.
And by lost in target competition, I think he is just falling to the third guy for the Jags because it's him. You have Ingram. I don't think Etienne eats much into the passing game.
I think he will, but regardless.
Zay Jones left, and it's Gabe Davis is the other wide receiver. Like
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Christian Kirk too. So
that's
Gabe Davis will be in. It'll be tough, but I think he'll be fine. He's also replacing Calvin Ridley as that receiver on the offense, so he will run all of Calvin Ridley's routes from last year.
All right, and I think this draft was kind of emblematic of how you want to do the hashtag or quote unquote hero RB build. So we have Breece Hall. We know he's a starter. We know he's a bell cow. So we didn't draft another running back until round 10. Then we went with 4, I guess, I don't know, maybe not Dowdle, but basically 4 backups who could have huge usage if things go well, because they're 4 backups and some fairly good offenses here. Maybe an argument that New Orleans isn't the best backup. But when he did start in week 18, when Kendre Miller sat out last year, he showed he can carry the load. He's coming off an injury, so that's why we took Kendre. Dowdle, I think, is a huge question mark, Tyler. I have no idea how much work he's going to get. But if he ends up being even 60% in what should be, what would you say, Dallas? Definitely a top 10, probably a top 5 offense.
Yeah, for sure. I think the other thing about Keandre Miller, too, is with him sitting on the IR all last year when Jamal Williams just got to run the ball into the back of the offensive line for half the year, like his ADP could be way higher than it is now just because we just didn't get to see him last year. We seen him in week 18 and he looked good. So I'll take the chance that Alvin Kamara's lifespan in the NFL is coming to an end. That joystick type of play doesn't last forever as you get older. So they eventually got to go to the younger guy.
Then we grabbed Trey Benson, Blake Corum, same thing, backups in what should be some pretty good offenses. And, of course, Benson correlated to our Kyler, Harrison, McBride stack. Took a flyer on Burton and Vidal, but at this point we're all taking
the other thing about Corum, too, spread is outside of last year, Sean McVay does not run one running back offenses. There legit was just nobody to back up Kyron Williams last year. Now they have that guy.
Well, he did it with Gurley, too. I think he'll have his one guy. It's just if Kyron's not 100%, Corum's more talented.
Gurley only got pounded that 1 year. And then they brought a backup in. And then they started to implement Darrell Henderson and those guys more. Like, once they get guys in the room to be the backups, they will use them.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back next week. I'm going to start an hour earlier. It'll be 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific. We'll continue. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. Remember, fanspeak.com, the place to be. And I know this is a DraftKings show, but if you're playing on Underdog, head on over to bestballoverlay.com. Use that promo code FANSPEAK to get 10% off, and that's going to give you your exposures, your correlations. It's just an overlay to help you. And if you want more information about that, Meg and Steve have done specific shows where they detail how they used it to help them. Obviously, I didn't use it today because it's an Underdog tool only. So if you're Team DK and you're only drafting on DraftKings, disregard what I have to say. But if you're in both streets like I am, check out bestballoverlay.com, fanspeak.com. Tyler, final thoughts?
Yeah, I like the team we drafted. We'll be back next week and we'll draft another one. Hopefully I can make it. Hopefully I don't have to work the night before. I will let you know that for sure, but we'll be drafting another one next week.
All right, there you go. Fanspeak.com.